Western foreign policy has long been portrayed as a champion of democracy, human rights, and global peace. Yet beneath this polished veneer lies a complex web of interests, power dynamics, and strategic maneuvers that reveal a far less altruistic agenda. Understanding the real motives behind Western foreign interventions and diplomatic strategies offers crucial insight into international affairs and the power structures that shape global politics. Historically, Western foreign policy, primarily led by powerful nations such as the United States, the United Kingdom, France, and Germany, has been justified on grounds of moral obligation, humanitarian aid, and security concerns. However, a closer look into specific actions reveals underlying patterns that prioritize economic interests, resource control, and geopolitical dominance over proclaimed values. One prominent example is the Middle East. Publicly framed as interventions for democracy and stability, Western involvement in this region often aligns closely with the control of critical resources, particularly oil. The 2003 invasion of Iraq, initially justified by the presence of weapons of mass destruction, quickly unraveled as no such weapons were found. Instead, the aftermath saw substantial Western control over Iraq's vast oil reserves, highlighting economic motivations masked by security rhetoric. Similarly, Africa offers numerous examples where humanitarian interventions coincide suspiciously with economic interests. Western nations frequently champion aid and development programs, yet simultaneously engage in trade agreements and corporate expansions that favor Western companies, often at the expense of local economies and sovereignty. This dual approach creates dependency rather than sustainable growth, solidifying Western economic dominance under the guise of assistance. The strategic dimension is equally telling. NATO's eastward expansion toward Russia's borders, ostensibly a defensive move to safeguard Eastern European democracies, has heightened tensions and escalated global security risks. Rather than stabilizing the region, these moves have often been perceived as provocations aimed at containing Russia, reflecting Cold War-era strategic thinking more than genuine commitment to peace and cooperation. In Asia, U.S. foreign policy explicitly revolves around countering China's growing global influence. Presented publicly as the defense of international law and regional security, Western military and diplomatic maneuvers, such as strengthening alliances in the Indo-Pacific and conducting frequent military exercises, clearly demonstrate an effort to maintain regional supremacy and economic influence amid China's ascent as an economic superpower. The rhetoric of human rights and democracy promotion frequently clashes with Western actions. Allies with questionable human rights records, such as Saudi Arabia, receive consistent military and diplomatic support, demonstrating that human rights advocacy can be conveniently sidelined when strategic or economic interests demand. Moreover, the international financial institutions, including the International Monetary Fund and World Bank, dominated by Western powers, often condition loans and economic assistance on structural reforms that open markets to Western corporations. Such conditionalities not only undermine sovereignty, but frequently exacerbate economic inequality and social instability within recipient nations. Critics argue this hidden agenda erodes trust and fosters resentment worldwide. It also undermines the West's proclaimed moral high ground, complicating efforts to address genuine global challenges collectively, such as climate change, poverty, and international terrorism. In conclusion, while Western foreign policy is publicly portrayed as a pursuit of global stability, democracy, and human rights, the underlying agenda often revolves around maintaining strategic dominance, economic control, and geopolitical influence. Acknowledging these realities openly could pave the way for more honest international relations and foster global cooperation based on mutual respect and shared prosperity rather than covert manipulation and exploitation.